In this demonstration, I'll describe the steps for cutting the plantar surface of the footplate to square it up. Whatever you do here, do not left click the mouse. All we want to do is right click, and then we can change the tilt of our model. Be careful though, because it's going to want to zoom in and zoom out at the same time. So I find what happens, go ahead and zoom it in by pulling the mouse, but then move the cursor above the model, and then it'll eliminate the mouse from zooming you in and out. So move it up at top, and now it makes it a lot easier just to tilt. So what we want to do is tilt it so that the heel goes a little bit above the forefoot. And we're going to end up dragging this pinkish screen up into the bottom of the footplate, just so that it doesn't hit the heel. And we're going to trim that off, but I have it tilted a little bit more than I want. So I'm going to go back above. I'm going to right click. Remember, do not left click. If you do by accident, it's not the end of the world. All it's going to do is tilt this. So you see how we have this green color there? Just tilt that so you no longer see the green. And again, what we're going to do is tilt this by moving it left and right so that we can trim off that footplate and square the model up. And our objective here is, if we look over here, we can see this cut depth. Right now I have it at about 1/8 of an inch, and I want to get this to about 1/4 of an inch without hitting the heel. So bring it up a little bit higher, 3/16, 1/4 inch, and I also don't want to be bringing this into the arch of the foot. So I'm going to pull this back down a little bit. I'm going to tilt it forward a little bit more. And again, I want to get into this about 1/4 of an inch if I can. And 3/16 actually works pretty good too. So let's try 3/16. So that looks pretty good. Now we'll just hit cut. Remember, we always have the fail-safe of the back arrow if we don't get the results we're after. So we're going to pull this down. Pull it down a lot, and then we can just flip this up. And actually this looks pretty good. So I'm going to pull this screen out of my way and just hit plantar. It's going to flip it around. I can zoom it out. And this looks pretty good. There's my first metatarsal. My fifth is going to lie in here. And it's not ever a bad idea to just take your 2-inch blend and just very quickly blend some of this out of here, and just on this side here. Now I hit over here, I don't like that. Hit the back arrow, it'll erase that. Again, do this, actually we can make it smaller, go to the 1, and just soften up these edges. Alright, and that looks very nice. So we have a very nice transverse arch. That's a beautiful looking foot plate. Don't worry about this out here, because remember, we're going to trim probably a big portion of this off of here. Okay, I'm going to go back to medial. My first met head's going to lay in here. So this foot plate is really long. Okay, everything looks very nice. Again, a very nice transverse arch. It's in the right spot. Nice medial longitudinal arch. Go back to lateral. I have a very nice lateral longitudinal arch. That's a nice looking foot orthotic. That's all we need to do. We are done modifying this foot orthotic.